What's up, you guys? It's a girl Ada Igwe, aka I Too Sabi. You're watching Chit Chat with Ada here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Today, it's about school friendship versus adult friendships. Which of them is genuine? Now, in secondary school, even though there were different kinds of social circles, I know that the friendship was based on how brilliant people make friends with you based on how brilliant you are, how talented you are. Maybe you are a runner, you know how to play badminton. I was a boarder though, so I'm talking as a boarder. You know how to play that badminton, or you may not be talented, but then you are just popular for being pretty, or you're just popular for being neat or handsome. Let me use handsome. I went to an all-girls school. So there were different reasons for the friendships then, but I think to an extent there was a little sprinkle of innocence, Yeah, although back then we didn't have internet, we didn't have smartphones to influence our decisions. And I could say that friendships were like 75% genuine. We can't rule out selfishness from that innocent friendships then, because like they said, I think we're born sinners. I know then in the hostel, I went to Federal Government Girls College, Igbuzo. We used to have FFFs, like friends for food, people that just become your friends because of food. Either they are friends to you because you are a prefect, you have access to the dining hall, something, or you bring a lot of provisions. Some people will just be your friends because some people will become your friends because they just want to have access to your milk, your Milo, your biscuits, your cabin, your digestive biscuits. There are some, especially those Onitsha students. I know my friends that went to the same school with me, if you watch, I know you're going to love the Onitsha students. Their provisions were something else. While we were coming with two sets or three sets, those guys are coming with 4 sets of provision, like 4 milk, 5 Milo, 5 this and all that. So a lot of times there were a little sprinkle of selfishness in friendships. Some people will even make friends with some students who their parents are teachers or guardians or matrons, just to have access to, hot water. I'm talking as a boarder, remember, to have access to hot water, your guardian can give you, your friend's mom or your friend's dad or your friend's mom is a guardian, is a matron, she can give you hot water in the morning to bathe. Some little perks and then boarding school was not the same with what boarding school is now. Boarding school was really boarding school then. So friendships then they were basis for friendships. I know we used to call those ones that feel too big and all that, we call them fillers. You mean fillers are those that are always feeling special. There's a way they dress. I was never too proud or pompous or wicked, but I knew I was never at the bottom of the food chain. There are some friendships back in secondary school that I felt would transcend into this lifelong sisterhood. And I was disappointed. I don't want to mention her name, but there was this particular friend of mine that everybody knew me with. We sing together, we go to class together. We're in the same class, the same arm. Like we're in the same class, the same arm, we entered, like we were really close, we did everything together. But immediately we finished secondary school, she became a stranger. Like I tried to send emails, then it was emails we started having before any other thing. I tried to send emails, she wouldn't respond. Even when I got her number, everybody now had phones and all that. Because our time there was no phone, unlike now that even kids in GSS won't have phones, So even when I tried to reach out to her and all that, until I spoke to one other of my friend, and she said, come on, somebody doesn't want to be your friend. This lady doesn't want to be your friend and you're still struggling. Just let her be. And that was when it just dawned on me that, I was just thinking that, oh, you are my friend. We used to be close. What happened? Like, pick my call. Like, why is she not responding to the friendship? Now, speaking about my university, I loved my university days because the friends I made from 100 level till I graduated are still my friends to today. Shout out to everybody. Let me give them a shout out. I'm giving a shout out to a former Agbakoba. I'm giving a shout out to Samuel Onwegbu. I'm giving a shout out to Jesu Efiokagbare. I'm giving a shout out to Abies. Abies, you were my tormentor in a very sweet way. You are my personal terrorist, Abies Omorogbe. I'm giving a shout out to Abies. I'm giving a shout out to Amanda, my bonky from 100 level till I'm giving a shout out to Fego. But these people, I still communicate to them. Some I don't communicate with every day. But you see, the first how many names I called, we always talk. We are in each other's lives. And that's amazing. This is for like we're hitting like 20 years out of school now, if not, 18 years out of school, and we still keep in touch. Life, we are in different parts of Nigeria, different parts of the world, but we always communicate. It's like we always communicate, and that's amazing. Now, I want to compare my secondary school friends to my university friends. I would say in my university days, the friends I made them when I was still a young adult. It's far, far different from secondary school life, where we are just making friends. Although secondary school was a little bit kind of innocent, but my university friends, I feel like I met the realest people ever in university. Now, let me give a shout out to my secondary school friends that are still solid, like people I went to secondary school with, rather, that I'm still solid with till today. Number one, Sandra Eze, Princess Ofigo, Chiwendu Ogbonna. I'm still in contact with these women, and everything is still solid. I'm so grateful for the friendship, for the sisterhood, and I pray it lasts till we are old and grey. So I want to compare my university friendships and my secondary school friendships. I could say my friendships in university were intentional. They were intentional. They were friendships based on just being having common interests, in conversations and all of that. Even though after 100 level we switched into different departments, but then there was something that always brought us back together some way or the other, and then the friendships actually blossomed. Like we don't have issues, or we have issues. Some days we're quarreling, some days we're arguing, but the thing is that we always find our way back to each other, and this is like almost 2 decades, and we are still amazing friendships. We are still amazing friends. I love that, and I don't take it for granted. And I also thank God for the university I went to, and I think it gave me a ground to really have solid people in my corner and all that. Yeah, I will give a shout out to, I forgot to mention Adesua. We don't really talk often, but Adesua, we're not even really friends in school, but somehow we just grew up, became these matured adults, and then we communicate and we relate to each other at every time, So if I want to make a comparison, I would say both of them were just friendships based on who you were. It wasn't based on who I am, whether I had a car, whether I'm wearing jewelry, gold, nothing of such, whether I had good hair, or it was just friendships. Secondary school and university friendships were friendships based on that. Even though some little, nobody is entirely perfect. Nobody is a saint. There were some little things and perks that would have attracted people to me, or me to people. Do you understand? I know that this guy, Etionsa, in my department, then in university, he's a nice person, good sense of humor and everything, and he was really brilliant. So I always try to get him to teach me, put me through, have some little tutoring and all that. So it's not entirely like saints, like it's not entirely selfless. I know there must be something that will bring you close to somebody, but I know that it was not anything superficial, Now, coming down now to this present life, coming down now to this is the real adulthood. I feel those times that we were under our parents, they're giving us pocket money, they're checking our results, telling us to submit our GPA, and then I don't think we were really adults. I think we were just starting the adulthood or something. Now that life has lifed everybody, now is when I say the adulting is really adulting everybody. So in this dispensation, friendship is very difficult for me. I'm not going to lie. I'm a very social person. At the same time, I could be very weird, because if I do not like you, or if my spirit doesn't tally, or we don't click, I don't like to pretend and lead people on. I'll let you know that I don't like you. I don't need to say it to your face, but I'll just turn down everything you try to do or come around me or something. I wouldn't let it go through. Now, one of the reasons I do that is that I'm scared of people. I don't know about you, but me, I'm really scared of people. Now, I'm someone who is very open. I don't know how to talk a little, leave some, hide some, behave a certain way. No, I don't. The moment I allow you into my world and call you my friend, I believe I should be able to tell you everything without thinking that you're going to use it against me, without thinking you're going to gossip, without thinking you're going to slander me, without even, these days I see a lot. So you see the issue of Burna Boy and that lady on the internet. So I think she was having a call with her friend, that be her sister. How did that how did that call enter the internet? Either they did it on purpose, just to poke, because nothing is impossible. Whether they did it on purpose to just poke Burna Boy, I don't know. But I know that a lot of times you could be talking to somebody and they're recording you. I don't know if you understand. So these days, friendships could be very, very, very scary. And any friendship that I cannot entirely be myself with that person, I don't consider you a friend. I'll call you an acquaintance. Do you get? So that's the difference between the adulthood. Now, adulthood now, people are looking at you. They want to know what your social media status, who you are on social media, if you have enough followers. Some people use that as a yardstick to know whether to relate with you or not, to know whether to respond to your messages or not, to know. They just try to size you up. Do you get? I know, yes, your personality, your courage, everything matters in the society and all that. But a situation where friendships are based on a lot of things, like they have to first, a situation where friendships are built based on superficial things and status and class and all that, I'm really not. That's why I would rather go back to my old friends. I would rather go back to my sisterhood. I would rather go back to those people I've always known, the people I trust, the people that have held my hand through trials and tribulations, the ones I've cried with, the ones that have cried with me, the ones people that have felt my pain and those that have felt their pain too. I'd rather go back and mend my friendships. I'd rather go back and appeal to conscience or find a way to just make peace because they are my safe space. It's very hard to trust people these days. People are coming either into your home just to size you up, to know what your house looks like, to know if you are up to standard, to know. It's just like the reasons are so frivolous and annoying. So a lot of times you hear me say, it's not me to do some kind of friendship. Say, you see, this is my house. How many bedrooms are toilet I go wash toilet and bedroom all day, and I would rather do that or watch TV than to go to certain places, go for certain functions. Or I'm a very social person, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm the life of the party. But I do my own thing in a very different way, and you're not going to blame me. The society will find ourselves now. I was talking to my director here, and I was telling him about my situation in church years ago when I just got into the church, when I just came into Port Harcourt, got into the church and all that. There are some women that you even admire, and you see them outside or at the salon or something, and you greet them. They just answer you in a certain way, behave well. In fact, let me talk about this. I had my first son. And the women of the church came to visit me. They came to the house. I think 4 of them, the escorts, the women's wing of the women. You know how I don't want to call people that know me. They came to the house to see me and the baby. They brought gifts. And from nowhere, I'm a young mom. I just had a child. I'm just young, a young mother, young in everything. And these women started talking. I was just in one corner. I was just somewhere looking at them. They said, when I went to Paris, when I booked a flight, they were just trying to show off to me. Why are people trying to show off to me? Do you get? And I just saw them somehow, like, when you were supposed to talk to me, find out how my delivery was, just say things. This one was trying to outweigh this one, like, I've been to more countries than you. When this one said, okay, the last time I went to Dubai, the other one was, okay, when we went to Dubai, we went to Saudi Arabia. They're just like, there was a Cold War happening in my sitting room. So I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to be that. I want the conversations to be happy conversations with my friends. I don't want to do show of power or show of who get money pass or who show of who don't chop life pass, So that's what the society right now is really, maybe I would say I'm naive, but I know that there are certain things I do not desire, Now, you can be very lucky to find good friendships at adulthood. Some people have found friendships during childbearing, during antenatal. They've met people, even in the office. People have best friends in the office, that even when they don't even work together again, like they've left the company, this one is facing another dream, this one is traveling out. They still keep in touch, and they've built, based on their working relationship, they've built other relationships outside their workspace. People have had best friends from their adulthood. They've met people everywhere, and they've connected one way or the other. I'm not saying that it is not possible. Some people are lucky enough to have built friendships in their adulthood. Maybe I can say I'm not so lucky, but I would not generalize that to everyone. All the same, if you are lucky to build friendships, whether from the past or present, just know that every friendship needs servicing. Just like relationships need to be serviced, friendships too need to be serviced. So I would leave you with this question. Which of the friendships for you stood the test of time? Is it your friendships from your school days, university days, secondary school days, or the friendships you made or the friends you made while you became a proper adult? Which of them has really stood the test of time? So please drop your comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me your experience. Tell me what's working for you. I'll be very glad to see your comments. I'll be very glad to respond to. I remain Ada Igwe, aka I Too Sabi. You've been watching Chit Chat with Ada here on YouTube. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.